Right, and with Stephen Broomhead, Chairman Warrington Wolves, for our annual catch-up. Stephen, looking back at last season first, you couldn't get much better really, apart from the end result in 2 finals.
No, I mean, it was overall a great season. Obviously, we were very, very disappointed in the 2 defeats in the 2 finals. We've been in the League Leaders Trophy, which I'm pleased to say now is a bigger hubcap, and the players all get medals as very positive achievements. So it was a good year. I mean, we saw younger players coming through, Deck Patton, the establishment of obviously Toby King, George King in the team. So overall, that showed our youth development was working. Crowds were better than ever. I think we're the only team in the Super League who showed an increase in attendance year on year. I think fan engagement and what people had to say about the match day experiences at Hannibal Jones, that was much better as well. So it was disappointing, those 2 finals. I did have a little cry at Wembley, and I know some of the players had more than a little cry, but it was actually a really good season overall.
Because in both finals you were in a winning position and then lost it.
Yeah, we were. I mean, particularly at Wembley, where there was that tackle by Danny Houghton out on Ben Curry. That was obviously that was a very disappointing and dark moment, but we bounced back from that. And strange enough, afterwards at the party we had with the families of the players, they knew they played in a great game of rugby league at Wembley. Actually, I think that helped them soothe their disappointment.
Obviously, since then, it's come out now that Chris Sandow, who was one of your star players for last season, at the last minute decided not to come back. How disappointing was that?
Well, I think Carl Fitzpatrick summed it up. He disrespected us, Gary. He had a 2-year contract and he walked out on the club. He'd gone back to Australia and he was having a holiday, he was having his vacation. He decided not to return. That's very regrettable. We took a chance on Chris. He's had other lifestyle issues before and issues at other clubs. He performed extremely well on occasions. Indeed, he was magical on occasions. So we were very, very disappointed he took the decision he did.
Are you going to pursue his breach of contract?
We're considering that at the moment. He is in breach of contract, but we will have to consider our position, having taken appropriate advice.
I did read one report where Tony Smith was quoted as saying there'd be less grey hairs to worry about with him not being at the club anymore. So,
well, I was losing most of my hair, Gary, and some of the things which were around Chris. I mean, young people do things that young people do from time to time, and you have to respect that. But they're also professional sports people, and they're role models in our community in Warrington, and we expect high standards of behaviour with our players. In overall terms, I think we're a model club for that, actually. But unfortunately, Chris isn't coming back. Despite the difficulties, we do wish him well for the future.
I mean, you and I have been around long enough to know that there have been problems at Warrington in the past with some of the culture involved, with the players going out and drinking and misbehaving. But like you say, boys will be boys. We all know it goes on. It goes on in the Premier League. It goes on all the time. It goes on all down the world. And it clearly still been going on a little bit in the background at Warrington. Is Tony cracking down on this harder than ever?
I think Tony's been a complete culture changer at our club since he joined us in 2009. The standards of professional conduct that he displays and he expects others to display are very, very high. Yes, people will from time to time will go out and enjoy themselves. Warrington, Gary, you and I know it is but a village. It's a town of 206,000 people. But if you're seen out and you're a rugby league player, you're seen out and people report things. Even scratching your nose or scratching your bum, you'll get reported for doing that. I think the visibility of our players is a very good thing. That you can go and talk to Chris Hill, you can go and talk to Ashton Sims, you can talk to Kevin Penny in the bar in a town. You wouldn't do that with the Premier League football. That's very positive. But there's the other side to that people sometimes want to report on what they think they've seen. But the standards of behaviour, the professional conduct, our welfare system is probably the best in the Super League, Gary.
One of the other big changes which has happened since the end of the season is your chief executive's moving on to have a senior position at the Rugby League. I mean, is that a big loss for Warrington, Roger moving on?
He did a great job, Roger, in the early days. He modernised our club, he brought in new systems, he listened to the fans, new fan engagement. Match day presentation was a lot better. He rebranded the club The Wire, which is something the fans were were asking us to do. So Roger did a good job in the early days, and he's going on to be the Chief Commercial Officer at the Super League. He'll be number 2 to the head honcho Nigel Wood, and we wish Roger all every success.
And his successor, Carl Fitzpatrick, what can you say about Carl?
Carl knows the game extremely well. He's very hard-working, he's assiduous, he's loyal. He'll bring a different set of skills because he knows the player side of the game as well as the admin and the commercial side of the game extremely well. He'll start in January. He's on a rolling start now, and I think Carl will build on the strong momentum that this club has already established.
Looking to the future now for next season, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to match what's been achieved this season. The only thing you can basically do is win the Challenge Cup and the Grand Final, or at least one of them.
Well, I mean, that's the ambition. The philosophy that the board has is around continuous improvement. Those want to be moving on either on the pitch or off the pitch to present the game or deliver the game in a better way. So yes, we do have our sights on 2 finals again, and hopefully this time 2 wins, winning the league and then qualifying for the World Club Series. Obviously we have a test on February the 18th with the Brisbane Broncos game. Nice early test for us, and we hope as many people from Warrington will come as possible to see what should be a fantastic game.
And what do you think of the club's ambition to be the best rugby league club in the world? Can it be achieved?
Well, it's a nice ambition to have. I mean, I want to be like George Clooney. I want to lose weight, Gary. It's ambitious, but I think it's the right one to have. If it can be the best rugby league club in the UK in the next 2 years and continue and sustain that, that would be very good before we move on to the global ambition.
Okay, Stephen, well thank you for your time and good luck for the season ahead.
Gary, thanks very much for your support for the Warrington Wolves and being a critical friend that you are, being a challenge and sometimes a lovely persistent nuisance. I wish you, Gary, a very Merry Christmas.
Okay, thanks Stephen.